Alright everyone, we're coming back with some more of The Great Ace Attorney 2. And we're continuing on with the trial that's still apparently going on, and it's going on strong. So I hope you all continue to enjoy watching, and let's see this one through. Alright guys, and we are back. You will tell the court precisely why you believe the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare, has been stealing gas. Yes, my lord, it'll be my pleasure. If I may, my lord. Go ahead, madam. This worker's testimony may have a significant bearing on the good name of my husband's company. Therefore, I should like to take the stand alongside him in a supervisory role, if you wouldn't mind. Woohoo! Oh yeah, sweet as honey, yeah! Very well. As an exception, I shall honor your request. Thank you, my lord. You wait till the boss gives you an earful. Ooh, it's gonna sting, you mark my words. So you will both testify before the court on the subject of the illegal consumption of the Altamont Gas Company's fuel. Yes. Is that clear, my good man? Clear as Altamont gas, my lady. Which is the clearest in the world. Do you think the gas has gone to his head, Miss Susato? I think the man is just a very dedicated employee, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah, a little too dedicated. Uh-oh. Witness testimony time. The Altamont Gas Company's investigation. I'm proud to be the company's East End branch investigator and meter money collection agent. Altamont gas meters accept Thruppenny bits. Each coin given customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas. Gorgeous. And yet the meter in Mr. Shakespeare's room didn't have a single coin in it. The meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though, and the collection agent has the only key. Somehow, he's using all the flaming gas he wants without paying a penny. If that's not thieving, what is? Pray forgive the discourtesy. The irrelevance of this testimony caused me to turn my hallowed chalice. What do you mean by that remark, Lord Van Zeeks? Did the mustachioed Nipponese poison the gangling excuse for an actor, or didn't he? That is all that should concern this court, and yet now we must listen to this abhorrence. Clearly, what separates the vast British Empire and your Eastern Island nation is more than geographical distance. But this could turn out to be a crucial testimony. The cross-examination must go ahead. Nah, sure, why not, right? Do what you will. Lord Van Zeeks appears to be in a violent mood. Yes, he does. An attempted poisoning and an incidence of gas theft with no supporting evidence. It's true that they would appear completely unrelated at first glance. But I wonder, the truth tends to be buried in the most unusual places. And the first step in uncovering it will be to establish just who and what this man really is. Alright, it's my go. I'm proud to be the company's East End branch investigator and meter money collection agent. Altamont gas meters accept Thruppenny? Thruppenny is how you pronounce it? Or Thruppenny? Thruppenny bits. Each coin given customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas. Gorgeous. The gas isn't just any kind of gas, it's gorgeous. And yet the meter in Mr. Shakespeare's room didn't have a single coin in it. Really now? Hold it! Out of interest, how long has this been going on? Weeks and weeks. He's been pinching gas off us for ages. And you've examined the meter in Mr. Shakespeare's room, I take it. Naturally, we took it off the wall and went over it with a fine-tooth comb. And found nothing suspicious at all, I presume. No, I'm afraid we didn't. Which is exactly why I demanded a new type of meter to be produced. One with an indestructible lock. The Shakespeare Special. Okay. That sounds like it would have cost an awful lot of 3-penny pieces. But even after all that, the rascal's meter was still empty. I'll never forget the humiliation when I opened up the money box and found it bare. You what? I said. You what? And the look on his face, that smarmy smile of his. I pulled the meter straight off the wall and took it back to the office. But you know what? Nothing. Not a trace of it being jimmied open anywhere. Not a single sign. And what's happened to my salary as a result? Down by 3 shillings a day, that's what. A life-threatening situation in a number of ways. He has no ribbon. That's so funny. I think the new costume should have given him the ribbon still. Incidentally, what became of the meter? Nothing became of it. I've still got it. Oh? The lag. Right here. No wonder they call you Meter Man. I think it would be prudent for the court to sequester this item while the trial is ongoing. Alright. Definitely. Although at first glance, there doesn't appear to be anything unusual about it. Alright. Let's move this along, shall we? Continue with your testimony. Though I would say it has much value as the content of that meter. Oof. The meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though, and the collection agent has the only key. Well, you know what? Let me check it out right now. Usually it has been tampered with, but I didn't even get a chance to look at it yet. Ooh, look at that. It hasn't been... Look at this. Oh, what's... Have you spotted something, Mr. Naruhodo? Just here. There's a little hole. Do you see? Goodness, you're right. I would have noticed. It's not a very neat hole, is it? Not professionally made, I'd say. So, you think it might have been opened up by Mr. Shamspear? Possibly. It seems that people at Altamont Gas must have missed it. Well, it certainly seems to go all the way to the inside. Yes, but there's no way a coin could fit through here. Sorry, through there. That's true, but even so, it seems more than a little suspicious. The details of the gas meter has been updated in the court record. Ah, now I can present it in this. Okay. Perfect. Objection! Lady Altamont, I'm afraid to say that this meter clearly does show signs of having been tampered with. What? Get away! I've been over and over that thing. I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with it. In that case... What do you have to say about the small hole that's been made at the base of the coin box? Hole? What? You're right. You're quite right. There's a little hole there. The meters aren't supposed to have that. None of the others do. In other words, we can assume that Mr. Shamspear secretly opened up this hole himself. Yes, I wouldn't be at all surprised. But why? Yeah, why? I mean, it's tiny. You couldn't get farther than through that. Lady Altamont, I wonder if you could give the court some more details about your meter design. What sort of details? Well, what I'd specifically like to know is how it differentiates coins. How does the meter tell the difference between different coins? What do you mean? Well, for example, if someone were to put in 1 penny coin, that wouldn't work presumably, would it? No, of course not. So, well, how does the meter know that the coin it's been fed is a Thruppenny bit? I don't know how to pronounce that. It's either Thruppenny or Thruppenny. Ah, I see what you're getting at now. The meter tells coins apart by their shape and size, which includes their thickness. A Thruppenny bit is about 3/4 of an inch in diameter, you see. Other coins just won't fit. Ah, I see. It's clearly been a very well thought out. The witness will amend her formal testimony with that information in case it is pertinent. As you wish, my lord. Alright, the meter is designed for coins to exact For coins, the exact diameter and thickness of the Thruppenny bit. Nothing else will fit. Okay. Hold on a second. If I remember correctly, there was a thing I had here. I think it was the bar of soap. And the bar of soap had a circle. Yep, like this one here. Oh, look at this bar of soap. This circular depression on this side about 2 centimeters across. Or 3/4 of an inch. Ah, do you think? We did find this soap at the scene, didn't we? Yes, there were 2 bars on that little ledge just outside the window, so we took this one. But I'm sure that when we first found it, there was some sort of wet reddish medallion in the middle of there. I remember it clearly. Yes, but there's no sign of it now. Where could it have gone? Okay. Now I think we can present this bar of soap now. Make magic happen. And... objection! Let me just confirm something here. If the diameter and thickness were to be correct, the meter would accept any object as if it were a Thruppenny bit. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Well, by something of a coincidence, while we were investigating in Mr. Shamspeare's room, we found a particular item that matches the dimensions perfectly. Something the same size as a Thruppenny bit? What was it? The item in question is this. What have you been inhaling, gas? That's a bar of soap. It certainly looks nothing like a Thruppenny bit, I must say. It looks like I'm gonna have to point out exactly what I mean here. What's so important about the soap is this part here. I have to turn it over again. Got it! You have to turn over the soap to see what I mean. Ah! Are you referring to that round depression in the middle of the soap there? That's right, a depression that's approximately 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Or in other words, almost exactly the same size as a Thruppenny bit. Get away! Does anyone here present have in their possession a Thruppenny bit? Quickly now, hand over your coins, ladies and gentlemen. It sounds rather like a highway robbery, doesn't it? Thanks to a kind member of the public in the gallery, I have here a Thruppenny bit. Now, to see if it fits. My word! It couldn't be more snug. Yes, as I suspected. This, without a doubt, is a vital clue to explain how the Altamont Gas Company is being defrauded. Well, I don't believe it. So, your assertion amounts to what? That some inferior bar of soap has a tentative connection to the theft of gas? Yes. The depression in the soap was clearly made by a Thruppenny bit. I must concur at least that pushing a coin with some force into a poor quality bar of soap such as this is a remarkably simple way of replicating the coin's shape. And then you could use, well, some melted wax or something to pour into the mold. You can make fake coins in no time. This brings all the pieces of the puzzle together. It's the method that Mr. Shamspeare has been using to steal the gas. That's the missing link. And now, if I follow the chain of thought, it's going to bring me to a new explanation for what happened that nobody's considered yet. But this is all nonsense. If the man had been making fake coins, my worker here would have found them when he emptied the meter. Quite true, Lady Altamont. In the absence of some black magic that could make them disappear. I see. That's what we're dealing with, is it? There's one form of black magic that could cause the fake coins to disappear into thin air, yes? Exactly. And the meter here gives it away. What on earth? There are remnants of the magical method used visible on the gas meter taken from the victim's room. If that is your assertion, counsel, the defense will identify these remnants for the court at once. Where on the meter can the remnants of the method used to make the fake coins disappear be seen? hold on. I'm trying to... Oh. I was wondering why I couldn't move it. And... Hold on. And... Hold on. Trying to get it. Got it! We found this bar of soap at the scene of the crime just outside the victim's window. Outside? Yes, outside where you yourself, Mr. Meter Man, were loitering in the freezing winter air. That's where we found this soap. Ah, I get it! That's right. The answer, of course, is ice. Did you say ice? Mr. Shakespeare has been leaving soaps like this outside his window each evening filled with water. After a night outside in the bitter cold, the water is completely frozen solid the next morning. Then he takes his fake coins of ice and feeds them into the gas meter, giving him light and warmth in spades. As his room becomes very comfortably warm, the ice now inside the meter's coin box melts, turning back into water, and draining harmlessly away through the small hole made in the underside of the meter. That is how, without leaving any evidence of his wrongdoing, this man has been stealing Altamont gas. Just like that. So simply. Is he trying to make us look like idiots? He's been fooling us with fooling us all with some bars of soap and some water? That's right, madam. I don't believe it. It can't be true. Do you have any idea how much money we spent to develop that new meter? And now you have the audacity to suggest that a bit of soap and some water can render it totally useless? I'm fairly sure I didn't design it. Evidence. Sorry? I want evidence. If you're going to stand there and tell me our meters are rubbish, I want to see proof. She's very good at enforcing accountability, isn't she? Very well, Lady Altamont. If you'd like evidence, I'll provide it. What? Mr. Naruhodo, are you saying you do actually have evidence to support this theory? I did notice a trace of something that bothered me a little at the time. And I have a feeling that this theory we've come up with now could explain it. The piece of evidence that substantiates the theory about how Mr. Shakespeare has been stealing gas is... Alright, hold on a second, let me see if I can find it. Oh, no, that's not how it works. Second hand book seat, no. Ah, okay, right. Take that! This is a photograph of the scene at the point when the victim was discovered, taken by Inspector Gregson. And it clearly shows the remnants of the crime carried out by Mr. Shakespeare. What remnants? The bar of soap. And the meter. Here you can see the gas meter on the wall in Mr. Shakespeare's room. Now, look closely at the floorboards directly underneath the meter. Ah, the water. What is that? Some kind of grubby stain? Almost certainly. It's a water stain resulting from the liquid that drained out of the hole made in the meter. Ah! If one coin gives around 2 hours of gas usage, and the occupant was heating his room in all his waking hours, we can imagine he would have used around 10 of his fake coins each day. The melting ice inside the meter's coin box would have been dripping out almost constantly, leaving a stain on the floor. This is awful. And there's further evidence too. Mr. Shakespeare slumped over his table, apparently having consumed strychnine. And right there next to him is a bar of soap broken in half. You're right. It would appear to me then, Counsel, that the man was eating the soap, was he? Pardon me for disagreeing with your lordship, but certainly not. He didn't beat about the bush there, did he? In truth, Mr. Shakespeare was found with a fork in his hand. A meal of... Do you mean to say he was using that fork to... Yes. To extract a frozen coin from the bar of soap. Ah! But the bar broke in half. So perhaps it didn't go very well. Good gracious! Lord Van Zeeks. I was throwing my hand up in despair, and happened to catch my hallowed bottle on the way. Pray forgive my maladroit mistake. What is the meaning of this counsel? Allow me to pose my learned friend's question. Sorry about that. What exactly did you establish with your most recent cross-examination? Well, that Mr. William Shamspeare is a liar and a thief. In other words, that his testimony is unreliable. That's it. That's exactly it. Very well, let us assume the man is a liar. Now, allow me to pose another question. What possible difference does that make? Well, we know that suicide can be discounted. Scotland Yard's investigation revealed no sign of another vessel that contained poison. And on the night in question, there were no visitors to the room except the accused. The young gasman's testimony, which we have no reason to doubt, has confirmed that. Furthermore, the only possible way the poison could have entered the victim's body is via the tea. The court has seen no evidence whatsoever that suggests otherwise. Oh, I missed that part. Hold on. Give me a minute. Even if William Shamspeare is a liar, you claim him to be. These facts have been objectively established. There's no escaping it. Therefore, in light of these facts, the prosecution calls for immediate adjudication. Order! Order! Well, counsel, how does the defense respond? Mr. Naruhodo! What was the point of that last cross-examination? Did it actually get us anywhere? Or did it make no difference at all? Like Lord Van Zeeks is saying. No, this isn't over. The defense will not rest. What? But counsel, you've successfully explained everything. You've identified and substantiated the unscrupulous method employed by Mr. Shamspeare to consume gas. What more is there to discuss? Lord Van Zeeks just highlighted 3 facts in order to make his point. But contrary to what he would have the court believe, not all of them have been objectively established at all. What are you trying to say, my Nipponese friend? At least one of those so-called facts is an assumption, made due to a lack of evidence. But the situation has changed now following the cross-examination of the latest witnesses to take the stand. Don't be absurd. What is this nonsense? Yes, when you bring everything we've learned so far together and consider it as a whole, it's clear. There's a question that we now need to be considered, namely, was someone else responsible? Was there another visitor? Was the poison in the tea? We've all been led to believe that the strychnine poison that afflicted Mr. Shamspeare was in the tea brought to him by Mr. Natsume. But that's just conjecture at best.
Objection!
The victim has testified that nothing else passed his lips that night. There is no other possibility. Actually, there is something else that passed his lips. And since there was no trace of the tea left at the scene, it couldn't be tested for traces of the poison.
Objection!
As I said, the situation has changed. Because in fact, some of Mr. Natsume's tea was left at the scene. And a particular piece of evidence proves it.
Objection!
A ludicrous claim. Scotland Yard detectives investigated the scene exhaustively. What evidence are you suggesting they missed? The defense has made a bold claim indeed. Very well, counsel. Present your proof. What evidence from the scene of the crime can tell us about the nature of the defendant's tea? The bar of soap, baby.
Take that!
Good gracious! The soap again? The same bar the victim used to fashion his coins of ice? Yes, that's right, my lord. It's just come back to me. Something about when we first found this bar of soap at the scene yesterday. It's more bars of soap. Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up in the ledge outside the window? I missed out. Let me see this again. I'm quite certain that when we originally stumbled upon the bars of soap, there was actually a frozen coin in each bar. So you discovered the gas thief's coin factory. Fascinating. In a way, yes, but there's more. The coin was found in the soap at the time the coins we found in the soap at the time weren't normal ice. There was something strange about them, you mean? Exactly, something very obviously strange. They were red. The ice was red? No, you mean... That's right, it's obvious to me now. The fake coins in the soap were made from frozen tea. What? I will remind the court of a statement made by Mr. Natsume earlier in this trial. That evening, yes, I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shamspeare's room as a gift. The public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I bought a bottle of water especially to make it. And this was the result. Never will I touch tea again. Never! Ah yes, I believe there had been a snowfall that day. It was particularly cold. Sadly, on such occasions, the poorly constructed water mains in the East End are prone to freezing. So on the night in question, Mr. Shamspeare, having no running water to use, was forced to use the tea brought by Mr. Natsume in order to make his fake coins. My word! There were 2 bars of soap on the window ledge when my judicial assistant and I investigated the scene. That's right, and we only borrowed one of them. Which means that even as we speak, some of the defendant's tea is still present at the scene of the crime. Frozen solid in a bar of soap outside Mr. Shamspeare's window. Extraordinary! Earlier today, Inspector Gregson informed the court that if even 1 drop of tea has remained, Scotland Yard would be able to analyze it for the poison. As such, we are now in a position to prove or disprove what has until now been mere conjecture. By finding out for sure whether or not Mr. Natsume's tea actually contains strychnine at all. Ah! You! Smug Nipponese! My lord, we cannot do the defendant the injustice of passing judgment now. The police should be dispatched to recover the remaining bar of soap from the scene at once. And the defense requests a thorough analysis of the frozen tea embedded in it to determine whether or not it contains any poison. Bailiff! Bailiff! Instruct the police to attend the scene at once. Yes, my lord. Understood. It would seem we have no choice but to suspend these proceedings for the time being. I trust you have no objection, Lord Van Zeeks? None, my lord. Scotland Yard will recover the tea from the scene and carry out the requisite test immediately. The trial will resume at the same hour tomorrow. Prosecution and defense may conduct further investigations as appropriate in the interim. Yes, my lord. Well, we managed to scrape through there somehow. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned until tomorrow. Alright guys, I'm gonna have to end the video here for today. Thank you all for watching. This has been One Crazy Trial, and we're gonna continue onwards in the next one.